Don't mind me. I'm just making my coffee. Black. I usually order it at Starbucks. The last time I asked for black coffee, they called the police. What's this? A science fiction poster? This is discriminatory towards the women! Darn it, I stepped in delusion. What's up everybody, it's Hunter Avalone here, and today's video is sponsored by the one and only Dollar Shave Club. Now we all have our daily grooming routines. I know I shower every day, I brush my teeth once or twice a week, and I definitely shave quite regularly. I bet you didn't know that Dollar Shave Club, yes, that Dollar Shave Club, has all your grooming products. Toothpaste, body wash, hairstyling products, everything you need to look, feel, and smell your absolute best. Not just razors. Dollar Shave Club is basically giving away their Daily Essentials starter set to new members for only $5. This starter set features their executive razor and 3 trial-sized versions of some of their most popular products to help you stay fresh and clean. In your first box, you will receive their shave butter, body wash, and 1 Wipe Charlie's butt wipes to rid yourself of any liberal propaganda. You will also receive their executive razor, which includes their premium weighty handle and a full cassette of cartridges. After the first box, replacement cartridges are sent for only a few bucks a month. This $5 offer is available exclusively at dollarshaveclub.com/HunterAvalone. That's dollarshaveclub.com/HunterAvalone. Just like their razors, everything is super high quality. I know I personally was blown away by the high quality of the product for such an unbeatable price. Dollar Shave Club is changing the game. So help support my channel by going to dollarshaveclub.com/HunterAvalone and get your amazing grooming products today. It's been a long time, my friends, but I am back to grace you with my presence. Welcome to Adventures in Retardville, the show where we talk about some of the dumbest things that happened over this past month of April. And believe me, we have more dumb things to talk about than white kids have in mental illnesses. So let's make like a Boeing 767 and fly right into this thing. Now, our first story today actually occurred last month, in the month of March, but it was just too juicy to pass up. An MIT librarian said, "Tech workplaces plastered with Star Trek posters, other geeky stuff, is non-inclusive to women. There is research that shows that workplaces that are plastered with stereotypically tech or nerd guy cultural images, think Star Trek, what am I fucking saying right now? This is so stupid, it's crashing my brain. There's research that shows that workplaces that are plastered with stereotypically tech or nerd guy cultural images, think Star Trek, have negative impact on women's likelihood of pursuing tech work and staying in tech work. Replace the Star Trek posters with travel posters. Don't name your projects or your printers or your domains after only male figures from Greek mythology. And just generally avoid geek references and inside nerd jokes." Yes, guys, because avoid inside nerd jokes. I mean, women are just too dumb. They're not technically smart enough to understand any geeky kind of stuff. Those kind of things reinforce the stereotypes about who does tech. And that stereotype is the male nerd stereotype. Yeah, maybe the stereotype exists because statistically, way more men are in tech. But seriously, what kind of ridiculously low view of women must someone possess to actually think women are so weak, so fragile, they won't be able to succeed in tech because some overweight Star Trek fan is working 3 cubicles down? Now this all came from an individual named Chris Borg, who describes herself as a queer, butch, lesbian feminist. Well, it sounds like we'll be getting a lot of verified wisdom from this person. Or herpes. The study referenced above was from 2009, and while conceding that the tech geek masculinity in question may not refer to traditional definition, the authors argue the stereotypicality of the group still has a profound effect on the ability to recruit people who do not see themselves as fitting that stereotype. Okay, bro, does anyone else realize how ridiculously sexist this sounds? I mean, who are you to say the women can't enjoy geeky stuff or can't possibly enjoy Star Trek? I mean, what about the geeky women who may feel more included at the sight of a Star Trek poster? I'm an evil, straight white mayo cracker, and I'm not nerdy at all. I mean, maybe I don't fit the stereotype. Should the entire office bend over backwards to make me comfortable? Or should they treat me like an adult who can handle my own problems? Not to mention, Star Trek is considered one of the most diverse shows, and half of the people attending Star Trek conventions are female. So do us all a favor and stop with this common feminist mindset. Stop treating women like these weak, fragile losers, okay? Women are strong and they have the ability to handle their own problems, even if they're uncomfortable by, God forbid, a Star Trek poster. I really don't think they need you, of all people, white knighting for them. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to our next story. The irrelevant grandma turned meth head Hillary Clinton has returned. You know, she's really starting to remind me of Jason from Friday the 13th. No matter how many times you think she's finally gone, she always somehow manages to come back, scarier than the last time. This time, Hillary tried to take credit for the Me Too movement, claiming her election loss accelerated the movement. Around the beginning of April, Hillary Clinton appeared at a place called The Wing, which is literally a women's-only club designed for women to congregate for the prosperity of womankind. How a club that reeks of divorce and cat fur is helping the prosperity of womankind is kind of beyond me, but that's also kind of aside the point. It was at this location that Hillary Clinton gave her speech and tried to take credit for the movement.
I believe that it was a wave that was building and building and building. I think my losing probably accelerated that wave.
Yeah, okay, Hillbilly Clinton, the only wave your election loss accelerated was the Trump wave. And you know, talk about being a gigantic hypocrite. I can't imagine trying to take credit for a movement meant for women who've been harmed when you're friends with Harvey Weinstein. You tried to silence women accusing your husband, you laughed about freeing a criminal who assaulted a young girl, and you chose to shield a harasser during your 2008 campaign. So I really hate to break the news to you, Hillary, but you're no champion for women. You're a champion for liars, crooks, and Saudi Arabia. I really don't understand why Hillary Clinton is constantly worshipped as this queen for female empowerment. I mean, I get it. She ran on one of her biggest accomplishments that oftentimes sounded a lot like this. I am Hillary Clinton. Vote for me because I am a woman.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
I know. That was extremely empowering. But what exactly does Hillary Clinton offer her female supporters besides having just a few things in common with them? The same body parts, being equally unattractive, and having a man that's cheating on them. Regardless, Hillary Clinton is a total hypocrite, and it makes me so happy to see her sinking deeper and deeper into irrelevance. Well, let's take a little break and head into the series within the series, Tweeting Like a Tard. Now remember, in Retardville, shocking things can appear at any moment. Our first tweet comes from a wonderful individual named Jenny Trout, who tweeted, "If you are a MAGA or 2A enthusiast, I legitimately do not care about your life, well-being, or the lives/well-being of your family. I don't care if you can't defend yourselves against intruders or whatever. I just don't care if you live or die." Well, Jenny, by the looks of your diet, it doesn't seem you care if you live or die either. I also love how she's on Twitter, she's verified, she hasn't received any consequences for such a ridiculously hateful tweet. Meanwhile, you can tweet out, "Donald Trump isn't so bad," and have your account suspended in a few seconds. Our next tweet comes from someone named Sophie Hagen. Believe me, it's quite ironic that her last name has the word hag in it. She responded to someone claiming she was trying to promote obesity by saying, "I'm not trying, I'm pretty successful at it. Hashtag get fat." Imagine your biggest accomplishment being that you promote the second leading cause of death in the United States. Good job, Sophie. Yay, get fat. Let's all live shorter lives with way more health risks. So fun. Tell me, Sophie Hagen, what else are you successful at promoting? Being gay in Iran? Being a witch in Salem? Being a conservative in college? And lastly, we all know Kanye is rising up and causing liberals to just drown in their own piss by his sudden support of Donald Trump. He of course is getting a lot of backlash because how dare a black man think for himself, so Chance the Rapper chimed in by tweeting, "Black people don't have to be Democrats." Now this of course is an excellent point, but along came the idiots. No one is upset Kanye's not a Democrat. They're upset that he's enabling and fanboying over a racist, wannabe authoritarian who has made it his mission to separate families, discriminate against POC and LGBT people, and remove himself from criminal accountability. Helpful hint? Tweeting out nonsense isn't gonna help your sex change go any smoother. Trump is not a racist. The black unemployment rate has fallen by a full percentage point in the last year, black labor force participation is up, and the number of black Americans with a job has risen by 600,000 from last year. Preliminary data show black wages and incomes are up since the election. The rate of job growth per month for blacks under Trump has so far been 40% higher than the monthly average under Obama. Trump has averaged nearly 30,000 new black jobs per month. That's especially remarkable because Obama was elected when employment was way down. Well, would you look at that? Trump is apparently just so racist, his policies are greatly benefiting blacks. Trump is not a wannabe authoritarian. There is literally no proof of this. Trump's mission is not to split up families, but if you broke the law by coming here illegally, that was a risk you were willing to take. Again, Trump is not discriminating against people of color, as I just previously mentioned, and Trump is arguably one of the most pro-LGBT Republicans we've ever had. And finally, how he's hiding from criminal accountability is beyond me, considering the FBI Russia investigation continued as planned. So good job, nice fake news you got there, buddy. You're definitely a verified idiot. And finally, moving on to our most relevant and serious story, Starbucks has apparently come under fire after 2 black men were arrested after an employee called the police. Now, as you can guess, because of this, there are now more triggered liberals than black kids with single moms. Starbucks is being protested left and right, and even being compared to certain racist groups by some protesters. Believe me, it's way over the top. So the viral video shows 2 black men being handcuffed and escorted out of the Starbucks. Now, to the left, this is undoubtedly racist. But before we jump to conclusions, let's actually look at some facts first. The men were waiting for someone at the Philadelphia Starbucks store and had not purchased anything before the arrest. Police officials said they were not allowed to use the restroom because they did not buy anything, and a store manager called Philadelphia police after the men refused to leave.
They didn't. What did they do? Nothing. The woman says for paying customers after they didn't do anything.
Now this right here is a very important piece of information. The men refused to leave even when they were asked. Now yes, calling the police may be a little bit extreme, but if you refuse to leave even after you're asked to leave, there could be consequences. Now some may find it silly or even racist that these men were denied bathroom use, but according to Time, it's not always clear whether sitting in a Starbucks or using a Starbucks restroom without purchasing any items is allowed. A company spokesperson said Starbucks does not have a broad policy prohibiting people from using restrooms or sitting inside for free, allowing individual stores to set their own rules. The Philadelphia Starbucks store where the arrest occurred has a rule in place that customers can only use restrooms if they purchase something. Such rules would allow Starbucks to ask people to leave. Under federal law, businesses like Starbucks can refuse service for reasons other than discrimination. So this specific Starbucks already had the rule in place that only paying customers could use the bathroom. These men didn't purchase anything, they were asked to leave, and finally after refusing, the police acted. Now at this point, I'm sure if the exact same thing happened with 2 white guys, the outcome would have been the same. However, what's a bit sketchy about this is an eyewitness claims that a white man sitting next to her had been at the Starbucks for 30 minutes without making a purchase, and a jogger came in and used the bathroom without making a purchase. Now, of course, at the end of the day, there's no real way to verify this, but again, according to Time, population's density plays a part too. It's a little easier for people to wait unnoticed inside a more crowded Starbucks in New York City without paying than it is in sparser locations where policies can be enforced more strictly. So these white guys she allegedly saw could have very well gone unnoticed if the Starbucks were a little more crowded at the time. It's also obvious that the black men were given an opportunity to either order something or leave before the police acted. According to NBC Washington, first the manager asked them to leave, then an officer asked them to leave, and both times they refused. Constantly refusing the manager and even the police could very well lead to an arrest, even though the men were not charged with anything. Now, of course, if these policies are only being enacted against certain racial groups, that would be a problem. The problem with this, there's no way to really know. Regardless, the liberal outrage is absolutely insane. The CEO of Starbucks apologized, and Starbucks announced it would close on April 29th to conduct racial bias training. But this is one of the many problems with the left. It's never, ever good enough. You could get down on your knees, beg for forgiveness, then proceed to kiss the feet of 1 million black men, and it still would not be good enough. Protesters are already claiming one day isn't enough, and even a Starbucks in Phoenix was being protested. I mean, guys, this specific store had nothing to do with anything. Chill your wokeness. One mishap in one store does not mean the entire Starbucks corporation is some racist, evil, corrupt company. One protester literally said, "I would prefer the structure of Starbucks as a company look like America. Right now they don't. They look like a Ku Klux Klan rally." Is it still not obvious enough that we're in retardville? But yeah, good job, buddy. Nice observation. The company that said they were gonna hire 10,000 refugees last year is definitely some racist company. Stop. Just stop it. For the love of God. Stop. All in all, it really seems to me that this entire thing was a giant misunderstanding, but the liberal rage machine is only fueling more cries of racism, rather than stepping back, looking at this as an isolated incident, and moving on. Well, those are just a few of some of the dumbest things that happened over this past month of April. Thank you everyone for watching. Please give this video a like, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all soon. Unlike Muslims, peace.